actually more minus a little bit. It didn't get back to the level that he had set it until October. So it was the beginning of May. So you have May, June, July, August, September, October. So you had over 5.5 months before it did a damn thing. And during that period of time at 10,000, there was distribution going on where the people who were buying were people who were listening to him, the people who were selling were crypto folks. And that went on until it stopped. It stopped in October, November, and it went to 12,000 to 14,000. And then in November started to accelerate, and then we all know what happened after that. We ended up at 60,000 in March. Now, am I saying that we're going to see a 4x, when this thing finally, stabilizes? No, but that is the closest historical parallel, and it's interesting that it's literally 1-0 different from where we are today, right? And
Dave,
so that is a very, very similar historical parallel for a lot of reasons.
I think you're dead on. I'm just going to add to your point.
Why did you say no?
Why did you do
4x? Yeah.
That's what
why not 4x? Dude, when did I see you pessimistic last time? Well, 30 minutes ago, but not on this topic. Please, Dave.
So now along with, whenever Bitcoin gets too far over its skis relative to adoption, you get euphoria and a blow off top. To me, 4 to 6x seems like that would be exactly that. It would actually be worse, arguably. I'd rather see a slow, steady, grinding rally, a double, whatever, would be about in line. But yeah, you're right. I mean, we haven't had euphoria in the Bitcoin market in a very long time. I mean, people think that we had euphoria because of ETFs. No, we had some pre-positioning, etc. We haven't had euphoria. Euphoria is when all those people who are running strategies, and there are a lot of them, selling options vol in order to create yield on their Bitcoin. When those people get gamma squeezed,
it's early in the morning.
They realize, crap, I have to buy back. When we see that, and to think that will never happen again means you expect Bitcoin to die. And I'm not saying it won't, but literally that is what you have to believe, because it is inevitable that will happen again unless Bitcoin does. So yeah, that sort of thing could happen. But that euphoria, I don't think extends to be that high, because they will then resell options at a new level, et cetera, et cetera. So, we'll see it. It's a different kind of asset class as you get more professional, because it kind of constrains the volatility of the upside to some degree. Not as much as people think, because they forget about gamma squeezes. But that's why I'm hardly bearish. If anything, when I see extreme fear and I see all the KOLs saying stuff that I want, I've been bookmarking so many people so I can dump on them in 6 months. It's crazy, because there are some people who their reasoning makes no frigging sense, but they just clickbait nonsense. I'm sorry, there are some that actually are pretty good and worth following. So it's not all of them, but it's a crazy situation. We're seeing capitulation, and we're seeing the end zone dances by the bears, and most of them are just comical.
We're down by 26%. I mean, it could, if that gets your bearish tendencies flowing, and you want to call it game over, then Godspeed. But there's about 40 or 50 bull market retraces of that size that would indicate you're probably wrong. Could be right, but probably wrong. Korab, I saw you lift your mic.
Yeah, that was all fun. I mean, today's conversation is good because it doesn't require a lot of brain.
Guys, everything okay?
For people who've lived through it. One of the funniest examples I would give is during I think 2022 DeFi was sort of thinking it was maturing, and then these TradFi guys started stepping into crypto with a co-founder of crypto, and they were making option products and more sophisticated instruments. And so there were a bunch of protocols that would build closer to EigenLayer, right? But sort of a leveraged position over EigenLayer. And the entire idea was based on the fact that Ethereum can't retrace below 40% and Bitcoin wouldn't retrace below 30%, right? And so just, while in that conversation at Token 2049, I asked, of course, those were not the days of ChatGPT, so I had to go back to one of my analysts. And we said, for fun's sake, can we have just a number figure on how many times Bitcoin and Ethereum in the last 10 years have breached, have been down 20, 30, 40, and 50%, and the numbers were astounding. So I saw your post today, Scott,